Okay, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining this Introduction to EndNote webinar, which will help you set up and add records to EndNote and use it to add citations to Word documents. Firstly, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we're delivering this webinar, the Awabakal, Worimi and Duckinjung people, as well as the traditional custodians of lands our attendees are on. We'll pay respects to the wisdom of elders past and present, celebrate diversity of Aboriginal peoples and their ongoing cultures and connections to the lands and waters of New South Wales. Also extend those respects to any Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islanders here today. My name is Ruth. I'm from the Academic Engagement team in the library, and one of our wonderful teaching liaison librarians, Susan Zhang, will be delivering this session today. So Susan will be demonstrating using EndNote 20. The previous version of EndNote was X9, so that was 19. So if your screen looks different to hers, that's why. Our EndNote guide has been updated to support EndNote 20. We still have a link to the X9 guide in there as well. So I'm going to put that link into the chat so people can see the guide if they haven't seen it previously. So I was going to say the chat function wasn't going to be working in this webinar, but it does appear to be working. But if you have questions you would like us to answer, please put them into the Q&A section of the Zoom meeting. And I'll try and answer things as we go through. But Susan will pause once we get to the end of actually putting material into EndNote and setting up EndNote. She'll pause and we'll answer some questions. And then later on, we'll talk about some more things after we've looked at Word and putting material into Word. If your question is more advanced than this introductory session covers, we can take your name and someone will get back to you. Or alternatively, you can just make a booking on the Book a Librarian service for a one-on-one to talk through your particular issues in an appointment. Or if you're a researcher or academic, you can email your research liaison librarian and have a proper consultation on the matter. This session is being recorded, and it will be placed onto the UON Library YouTube channel where our past webinars are. So now I'm going to hand over to Susan and I'm going to hide myself.
Thank you, Ruth. So I just share my screen. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the library session. My name is Susan Zhang. I'm one of the teaching liaison librarians based at Orinba. So today I'm going to introduce you to EndNote. So what is EndNote? EndNote is one of the best citation management tools. It is available for Windows, Macintosh computers, and also is available online. Using EndNote, you can build up a personal library. You can create bibliographies and references for your paper when you're using Microsoft Word. If you are a researcher, you can also collaborate with others by sharing your research materials with up to 400 users at any one time. And if you want to publish your paper, you can also use EndNote to match your paper to a number of scholarly journals which publish in your subject area. But for today's session, we will focus on the basics, the introduction. We will talk about how to build up a personal library and how to use it with Microsoft Word to create references and bibliographies automatically. And we will also cover some tips and tricks and some common mistakes. And also, I will show you how to get help if you need it. So before we do the hands-on, I would like to show you my, I would like to show you our library guide to EndNote. So from the library homepage, you can go to the middle of the page, and you can see there's a link to referencing. So click on referencing, and you will see at the middle of the page, there's a link to EndNote. So EndNote is available on all the university computers. You can also download it for free using your university login for your home PCs or Macintosh. And you can see from this page, you have the download link. You have all the information listed on the guide. So we will refer to this library, the EndNote guide, when we are talking about EndNote today. All right. So let's just start. So basically, when you download EndNote and install it, you can open it. And when you open the library, when you open the EndNote, because I have EndNote library, it automatically open my EndNote library. But for a new library where the first time, you can go to the file and then select new. And when you create a library, there are two things you need to pay attention to. One is where do you save your EndNote library? So make sure you save your EndNote library to your local computer's hard drive, not to the cloud services, not to the OneDrive or SharePoint or Google Drive, etc. Because EndNote is not designed to work with cloud services. EndNote always saves itself, and it doesn't work compatible with the syncing feature of the cloud services. So always save it to your local computer's hard drive. If you put your working EndNote library to the cloud and you open directly from the cloud, you put your EndNote library at higher risk of corruption because they are not compatible. So this is important. That is for the location. And the other thing is when you create a new library, the default library is my EndNote library, but this name is a bit too general because later on when you have more research and you want to collaborate with others and you want to share your library with others, if it says my EndNote library, it doesn't, it may be too general. So people don't know whose library it is. So make it specific. You may say just use your name or something specific. So it will be easier for others to see whose library it is. So when you write it to save your library, for example, you may use your name and then you can click on save and make sure you save on maybe a folder. We can save a new folder or in a specific folder, and then you can create one. But because I already have one, I can use my, but what I can do is I just delete all my all my references. So it looks like from the beginning, and I can empty trash just for the sake of a demonstration. So I created an EndNote library using my name. For example, if it's the first time you create a new library, you will see something similar like this. So that's a brand new library. You can see your name there, but there's no references at all. So after you create a new library, you can get the references into your EndNote library. There are a few ways to get the references into your EndNote library. One way is as quick and dirty way is using the online search within EndNote. For example, if I go to PubMed, if I use PubMed, I can do a search here. For example, I search childhood diabetes, and I limit the year to 2012, this year, and I do a search. And you can see, you can search within EndNote to PubMed. And you can see there are about 45 articles on childhood diabetes published in this year. And then you can select any data, any references you like, anything relevant. you can have a look I just close that one. The title and the abstract, and see if anything, if it's relevant, you can select and then add it to your EndNote library. So you can click on this plus sign there and get the reference from PubMed into your local library. And if you for this demonstration, I just click them all, and then I click on add to my EndNote library. And you can see I have 28 references in my EndNote library. Because I added twice, so there will be duplicates. But I will show you how to deduplicate. Okay, so that is one way you get the references into your EndNote library. And when you have references into your EndNote library, it's very important you look at the each of them and see if there's any mistakes, because there are always there are some mistakes, and you can have a look what they are looks like in the style. For example, if you are using APA, have a look if they are correct in the style APA, or if you use Vancouver, you can change to Vancouver and have a look if they are formatted correctly. And you should click on each one of them and make sure they are all accurate and there's no mistake within your EndNote library. I can see if I using EndNote, if you are using APA 7s, it seems okay, but I can see there are some mistakes there. It says, so in the field of year, there's also the month and date, which is incorrect. So what I can do is I can have a look if it's a common mistake. So I can clear this date field. So if I go to the library page and move and change field, I can click on the date field and clear it. Okay. So you can see the date is cleared. And then if you go back to your style, you can see the field of year is formatted correctly. All right. So that is how you get references from online search. Another way, online search doesn't work with all the databases or library catalogs. So the most common way to get references into your EndNote library is using the databases or using the catalog and then directly export from there. For example, we are using library search. Library search is the library's main discovery tool, and it can find books and journal articles all in one box. So for example, I know a book is very good called The Biggest Estate in Earth. So if I do a search, I will find the book in the library catalog. It's about Aboriginal history and land management, etc. So if that's the book I want for my research, I can go to the more options, and then I can click on EndNote. So that way, you can see there's a download here. So if I click on the download citation, it will automatically import it into my EndNote library. And that is the record. So that is how we import references from library search to our EndNote library. And the the first thing when we imported something, we need to check the quality. And from the reference, I can see there's something mistake there. There's a progress. The database name is there. So I have to go to the edit, and I can see in the authors field that the first author is the author. The second is not really an author. That's the database name. So I have to delete it. Other seems all good. So I can click on the save button there, save the changes, and have another look of the book in the APA style. I can see it's all good now. So that is how to export from library search to your EndNote library. Next, I show you how to get references from Google Scholar. So if I go to Google Scholar, and if if I search for a book, I can see the book on the list. And you can see from the list, you can see there's a set button. So click on the set button. Google Scholar will put the citation in the style of APA, Harvard, etc. And also there is link. You can download it to EndNote. So click on the link. You will see something. It's downloaded and it's automatically inserted into my EndNote library. And from there, you can have a look and see the author, year, title, the publisher seems all good. So for this one, it's all good. Okay, so that is how you search Google Scholar and get Google Scholar into your EndNote library. Get the citation from Google Scholar into your EndNote library. If you are using databases, we have a list of databases. You can search all the databases like ScienceDirect, like Scopus, EBSCO, ProQuest, etc., and get the references from the databases into your EndNote library. For example, if I'm using Scopus, Scopus is a generic databases. It's a collection of all the databases. It's covers all subject areas. I can do a search. For example, I can do a search for childhood obesity, for example. If I do a search, there are about 40,000 documents on this topic. And then I can choose, for example, I limit to the publications of this year. And I can also limit it to English language, and then limit. So I have 1,900 documents. So with those documents, I can select them all and see and export them into EndNote. For example, I click on EndNote. I choose RIS format, that is for EndNote, and I can choose any field I need. And then I can select export button there. And all the 1,900 references will be imported into my EndNote library. I think the maximum is 2,000 records you can export at any one time. But I don't want to import it that many for today because it will take some time. So instead, I will go back to the search results list, and I will click on some of them. For example, I can choose a few. And then I can click on export. Oh, it's exported here. And if I click on it, and you can see the 5 articles automatically imported into my EndNote library. And as the same, I have to have a look and see if there are any mistakes. It seems good. All right. This seems okay. This seems okay. So the quality in Scopus are pretty good. So that is how we get the references from the databases, from Google Scholar, and from library search. What about people say, I have a reference, but it's not available from databases. It's not available from Google Scholar or library search. What can I do? So for the references, it's not available from databases. At least you can do to type them in. So do it manually. So to insert citation manually, you can see there's an icon there. It says add a new reference to the library. So if I click on the plus sign there, it gave me a window I can type them in. And the first thing you need to decide is what you are going to type it in. Is it a book, or is it a journal article, or is it a web page, etc. So you can select any type you need to type it in. But for me, for this demonstration, I just say it's a book. And in the author field, I can put the author's name there. For example, Smith, John. So you will put the surname first, followed by a comma, space, and then the first name and second name, etc. And if you have more than one author, you should put them into different lines. So one person per line. Okay. So this one, I put my name there, and so surname and first name. So if the author is not a person, it's an organization. So for example, United Nations. So if it's a corporate author, so you have to tell the system it's not a personal name. So you have to put a comma at the end. The comma tells the system you treat the whole thing before comma as one name. Otherwise, the system will think the nations is the surname, the United is the first name. So, okay. So that's how you how you put the authors in. Okay. And that's the year, that's the title. And place of publication, for example, we say Orenba, and publisher, say your own library. And that's the field for a book. So when you finish, you can click on Save. And you will see your reference is saved there. And you can see in the APA style, you have the authors. The first author, second author, and the third author is organization. Year for publication, title of the book, and the publisher of the book. That is how you can manually insert a citation here. So we talked about getting the references into our EndNote library by manual entry, by online search within EndNote, and by using the direct export from databases and catalog, etc. So that is how we get the references into our EndNote library. The next, we will think about, we have the references, but we don't have the full text of it. So then we can also get our full text into our EndNote library. So there are two ways you can do it. One way is using the find full text, the function of EndNote. So basically, you select the citations you want to find the full text, and make sure the find full text function is set up correctly. To check it, you can go to Edit and go to Preferences, and under Find Full Text, you can see you have the Open URL path and the authentication URL all set. If your box is empty, you need to go to the library EndNote guide, and under Attach Files, you can see all the details for the path. So you can copy and paste it into your EndNote preferences. Okay, so for my library, I already set it up. So what I can do is I just click on the full text button there. So it will go out to the databases and find the full text for me if available. Okay. And and you can see under find full text, it says searching 36 references. And when one article is found, you can see there will be a paper clip there. So click on the paper clip record. You can see there's a PDF is attached to it. And to view the PDF, you can see there's a PDF tab there. Click on the PDF, you can see all the full text of that article. Okay. And when you look at the full article, read article, you may highlight something. For example, in the abstract, if you think that part is important, you can highlight it. And to highlight it, you can see you can see that button there. Button. Yeah, if you click on the button there, you can see there's a highlight. So it highlighted. And you can also see there is a button says add a sticky note. So you can. So if you want to put a note there, you can click on the place you want to put a note, and open the note. You can add something. For example, you may say this article is good for chapter 1, or this article is good for you add a note you put there. For my demonstration, I just put a demo there. Demo -1, for example. Demo -1. So I can just put there. I think the system is still searching for the full text. I have 36 references, so it takes a little while for the system to go out to the databases and attach the PDF for me. So that is how you attach the PDFs, and how you read the PDFs, and how you highlight the PDF, and how you add a note to your PDF. And you can save the PDF, the notes there. Okay, it's still going, searching and find. So far, 14 articles are found and attached. That's a very good results. Usually, you may have, it depends on the topic, the subject areas. Sometimes you may not find a lot PDF automatically, but for this result, it's pretty good. Okay, excellent. So with the 36 references, we found 19 articles. So that's an excellent result. That's more than 50%. Okay, so that is how we can get the reference, get the full text PDFs into our EndNote library by using the find full text function. And what about the articles? You know, like there's no PDF there. For example, this one, and there's no PDF attached. So what we can do is we can download the PDF from the library catalog, and then we can edit manually. So you can see if you click on the record, you can see there's a button says attach file, for example. And if I go to attach file, it asks me where the file you can attach. I think I have, let's find, okay. In the demo files, for example, I can attach this one. So I can just click on open, and the PDF is attached. So if I want to have a look, it will be something like this. Okay, so that is how you attach files manually. So go to the summary, and there's a link. You can attach another document, for example, maybe a PDF, maybe a picture, maybe a Word document, maybe an Excel document, any type of a file. So, for example, if it's a picture, I can click on the picture and open it. So that is my my dog. So, all right, Pella. So that is how you get the reference. You get the full text PDFs and images and other files into your EndNote library to make it full text. Okay, so that is how to get the files into our EndNote library. And next, we will talk about the quality control of our library. So it's very important when you have the references and the full text into your EndNote library, you make them accurate, you make them mistake-free. Otherwise, if there's any mistakes, it will be transferred into your Word document when you use it. So sort of a garbage in, garbage out. So how to control our EndNote library, the quality? As we said before, whenever you import something, you always check one by one if there are any mistakes. And you can also sort your libraries. For example, you can sort by the field by the column heading. So you set it by alphabetically A to Z or Z to 8, and to see if there's any mistakes. If there's no author, for example, you will double check, see what's wrong with that article, why there's no author. And the same thing, you can sort by year. And if there's no year, you will see what's wrong with that article, why there's no year. And also the title, you sort by it and see if there's no title or something, you need to pay attention to it. Okay. And also you can do a search for anything you want. For example, you have a big library, thousands of references, and you want to find one article quickly. You can do a quick search. And you can search any field. You can also search the note in the PDF. For example, I remember I put a note in my one of the articles in the PDF. So if I do a search, I can find this article very quickly. And I do remember when I look at the article, I highlight something, and also I make a note there. So you can see I can find this very quickly for the article I need. That is the quick search. You can also do an advanced search. So you can say, I can search by title, author, year, etc. Okay, so that is how you do a search. And also, if there are, because you importing references from different databases and from catalogs, etc., there is a possibility you inserted one reference more than one time. So that will create some duplicates. And the duplicate control is important for the quality of your library. But you can find the duplicates and delete them. So to deduplicate, you can go to the library tab there, and then click on Find Duplicates. So click on Find Duplicates. You will see there are some duplicates. There are 6 duplicates, means we need to delete 3 of them. So if you can have a look and see which one is better than the other, and you can see, so okay, I keep this one, and I will keep that one. And for the second one, I keep this record, and you will keep this record. And for the third one, keep this record. So basically, you follow the instruction and check which one is better, and keep the one you want. All right, so that is how to control the duplicates. Another thing I want you to know about the EndNote library is, because you can use just one EndNote library for all your references, no matter what you study or what you do, for one class or all the other classes. And how do you search? Do you organize your references in your EndNote library? There is a way. It's called group them. So you can see there's a group set and groups. So you can select a group. For example, if I say create group, and if I want to put all the books into one group, I can have a look and just see if I have any books. You can see there's a reference type, and I have 3 books. For example, I want the 3 books in my EndNote book group. I can select them and put them into my books group. And if I want something about diabetes, I can find all the articles about diabetes, and I can select them, and then I make a group for diabetes. So diabetes, and I put all the my reference for diabetes into the diabetes group. Okay, so that is how you use group and group set to organize your references. So you can put all your research in one EndNote library, but use different groups to manage different projects. So that is how to manage our library. Next, I want to talk about when you have a big library and you have all your full text and all your research there, it's important to make backup your EndNote library, because disaster can happen, bad things can happen. So if something wrong with the internet, something wrong with the computer, and you don't want to lose it. So there are a few ways you can back up your EndNote library. So one way is you go to the File button there, and then you can see there's an option, say, Save a Copy. When you choose this one, you can see you can save your EndNote library to another location. And you can see when you create an EndNote library, actually there are 2 documents created. One is called My EndNote Library, is your name with the ENL, which is EndNote Library. The other is a data folder. The data folder is an essential part of your EndNote library. So all your Word document, PDFs, and index, and pictures, etc., all saved in the data folder. So when you back up your EndNote library, you have to back both of them. So always put them together and back up both of them, because the data folder is more important than the EndNote library itself, because you can create your EndNote library from the data folder. So it's very important you save them both, backup them both. Another way is if you want to email your library to someone, you can use the compressed library function. So this function can make you EndNote library and also the data folder into one document, compressed document. So you can then save it, send it to by email as attachment. Okay, so you can choose to save with a file attachment or without file attachment. Okay, so another way is you can save your EndNote library to sync it to EndNote Online, which make a copy of your EndNote library on the internet. But EndNote Online is another group of about EndNote, knowledge and skills about EndNote. So as a beginner, as a new users of EndNote, we won't talk much about EndNote Online. So we don't have to know about it because there are more things we need to learn if we use EndNote Online. Okay, so that's basically about building up a personal library, how to get the reference in, how to control the quality, how to organize your EndNote library. So that is for how to build a personal library. And I can stop here, and if there's any questions, because next I will show you how to use EndNote library in with a Word document. Ruth,
We're
if that's
okay,
all right?
Susan, you can keep going.
Excellent. Okay. So when you have a EndNote library, and we will use it for when we writing our paper, we need to use it EndNote library to create bibliographies. So for example, that is my example paper. Let's make it. For example, I'm writing my paper, and at one point, for example, here, I need to reference something. And you can see when you open Word document, there is a tab that says EndNote 20. And within EndNote 20, there is a style there. So let's go to APA 7. For example, I'm using APA 7. And at this point, I need to insert a citation from my EndNote library. So I just go to my EndNote library, for example, and I will choose one. For example, this one, I want to insert it into my EndNote library. So I select the reference, and you can see there's an icon say insert citation, and I can click on the icon, and you can see the citation is inserted into my my Word document, and the bibliography is created for me. And if I want to do another one, I can, for example, insert that one, and also maybe another one at the same time. There are two, so I can insert, and you can see the reference is inserted. There are two references at the same time, at the same place, and the citation is inserted, and the bibliography is created for me. And sometimes maybe there is reference you want to insert in the beginning of the sentence. For example, there is reference, that one. I want to insert it into my Word document, and it is in the beginning of the sentence. And if that's the case, you need to make it a narrative, like a narrative citation. So you need to change it. So to change it, you first select the reference, and then you go to Edit and Manage Citations. And then you go to the default format. You change the default format to author out of the brackets that way. And then you click on OK, and you will see the reference is changed to the narrative format. You will see editor state that to make your document, etc., etc. So that's the way you can modify it. You can also, for example, if you are using a quotation, you also need to put the page number there. So what you can do is you select the citation and go to Edit and Manage Citations. And then you can put a prefix or suffix or a page number there. For example, page 44. And you can see if it's for a quotation, so the citation is inserted for you. Okay, so you may notice every time I want to make changes to the reference in my Word document, I always go to the Edit and Manage Citations. I don't just put, use the keyboard and put it there. Just remember, your EndNote library, your EndNote citations, and your Word document, they are two separate programs. If you want to make changes to your references in Word, but it's a EndNote citation, you always go to the citation and then use Edit and Manage Citations. For example, if I want to delete that citation, for example, delete that one, I first select the citation, and then I go to Edit and Manage Citations. And then I choose Edit Reference and Remove Citation. This is very important. And then I click on OK. So you can see the citation it's deleted. Okay, so it's very important when you delete a citation, you always go to the EndNote tab and go to Edit and Manage Citations. So that way, the citation is deleted, and also the bibliography, the reference list, also automatically updated for you. Otherwise, if you select and delete, and the link between the in-text citation and bibliography will be broken, and your Word document may be corrupt because of the system can't find the links, and then the Word document can be corrupted, especially when you are writing a book or writing a thesis. It's very important. Always use the Edit and Manage Citations to do the delete or to add things, suffix or page numbers, etc. Okay. And that is how to add citations, how to add page numbers, how to edit the citations. And another way I want to show you is if you are not using APA and then you change to another style, for example, like Harvard, you can. So you can change to another style, for example, Harvard UON. So you can see Harvard style is slightly different. So you can see that's the Harvard style. You can also change to a numbered style. For example, you may, if you are from engineering, you may use IEEE, and you can see you can change from an authored style to a numbered style. Another number style is Vancouver. Vancouver is also number style. You can see Vancouver use the number style. And let's go back to APA summons. And if you are using footnote style, for example, let's go to another let's try another. For example, the Word document. Footnote style is a bit different from the author date or number style, because you need to use the word function for the footnote. For example, if at this point you need to insert a footnote there, you first go to the references in the Word document, and then you click on insert footnote. And then you can go to the EndNote function there. Let's try, for example, Chicago. Chicago is a footnote. Do I have Chicago there? I don't, but if this, oh yeah, there is a Chicago footnote. So you can click on Chicago footnote. Oh, I have to select a document. For example, let's have a look. What's the looks like in Chicago? Chicago, do I have Chicago there? Oh yeah, there. What it looks like, it will be something like this. Let's choose a good one. Okay. For example, this one. And if I say insert citation, you can see the footnote is created for you, and also the bibliography is created for you. All right. And that is for footnote. Any questions about using EndNote and Word?
Susan, we had a question before about making something only appear in your bibliography. I know you showed page numbers, but could you just quickly show that drop down for bibliography only?
So yeah, so you can. So if you click on the reference and then you go to edit and manage citations, and there is an option says show only in bibliography. And if you say okay, so the reference will not appear in the Word document, but in the bibliography, in the reference list, it's available. But I show you one more thing is if you go to the EndNote library there, and if you think, okay, those are the, I want to make a bibliography, for example, I want to, for example, this, I want a list of a bibliography, for example, in APA style, APA 7, and you can, so you click on, you select your document, select your references, and then you click on copy. And in your Word document, let's do a new Word document, and you can just click on right click and you select keep source formatting. You can have a list of the bibliography without the in-text citation. So just say bibliography. Is that correct? Bibliography, my typing. So that can be your bibliography without the text. So that's how you create a list of bibliography without writing a paper. Does that answer your question, Ruth?
Yes, I think she just wanted the part where you just say show only in the bibliography.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Does anybody want to add any more questions? We've got another 4 minutes.
4 minutes.
I think you've done a great job, Susan.
Oh, thank you.
Would you just mind showing how people get more help?
Yeah, all right. So to get help, if from the library, the EndNote page, you can go to, we have FAQs there and help. So if there's any questions, you can have a look. And if you have any questions to ask, you can ask the library on using the online chat. You can ask any questions and we will help you straight away. Or if we can't, we refer you to someone can help you. All right. So so you can, that is from the library homepage. They may need a little bit. I just tell them just class demo. So they don't have to worry about it. And if you need more help, you can go to the library homepage. And from the library homepage, there's Ask the Library. You will go to the library help page. Little bit slow. Yeah. From the library homepage, you can go to this page, which is a help, Ask the Library. So you can call us, you can book a librarian online, or you can come to the library and talk with us and in person. You can also see the FAQs. Of course, you can also chat with us. Yeah, that's
there's also the research liaison librarians. If you're a researcher or academic, there's a list of our research liaison librarians there.
Yeah.
For more specialized help.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, you can see the research librarians for your school. So you can see the person's name, email, and phone. You can contact us, and we are more than happy to help you, because EndNote is such a wonderful tool. It saves you time and save you effort and support your research. So get used to it as soon as possible, and make mistakes. You will learn from your mistakes, and then when you're doing your PhD or something, you will be an expert of EndNote. So that's all I want to say. Do you want to add anything, Ruth?
No, I think you've done a really wonderful job, Susan. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And that's all. That's all for today. Thank you very much for your time and for coming. So we are looking forward to see you in the library, and also come to our other webinars, and come to, we also run some hands-on sessions. So yeah.
You'll get a copy of the recording emailed to you.
All right. Thank you, everyone. And bye for now. Bye.